Great start on your spreadsheet. This part looks really nice. I just wanted to point out a couple of things. Now, I changed this already. I'm not sure if I can go back and fix it. Let's see what we can do here. So this is what you had for your sheet. And you notice how these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't really know what they are. I know you were trying to express something with this information here. I think what would give us a better pie chart is if we need to think about parts of a whole. So we already have total expenses, total earnings, savings balance, and average, and that doesn't really make the best chart, but you have something here that would make a great chart. So I'm going to delete this one. And let's look. I'm going to make the sheet smaller so we can see more. You have total expenses here and different expense categories. So I'm going to use my control key and I'm going to highlight your expense categories and then hold my control key down and get the totals over here. And then I'm going to go to my insert tab. I'm going to insert a pie chart, and right here this shows us our expenses for the year, and we can play around with it and get percentages on there. And you can see now that you have the greatest expense is for, should be rent. Yes, rent here. This is the food color over here. And you could put labels on them so that they were a little more obvious, but this is pretty typical that most people spend the larger portion of their income on rent and food with other things. Oh, you have no fun in there. You need some fun. Anyway, that is one suggestion I have. So expenses is a great use of a pie chart, and we want to make sure we're comparing everything in the same category. So we just have expenses in our pie chart. If we combine things, it doesn't give us a very good example. And so here, same sort of thing. This chart is being pulled right from here, and this is like combining apples and oranges and bananas. We've got total expenses, total earnings, and averages. That's not going to give us our best representation. And you had some spark lines here too. Since these are only a single number, it doesn't give this spark line any data to work with. So what could we do for our monthly budget? Why don't we track our monthly total expenses or our monthly total income. Either way. So I really like the way this is. I'm gonna see if I can select data to fix it here and leave your color alone. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to pull. It's not going to let me. Maybe. So here's the series, and here's the next part for each month. It's not going to let me do it. So I'm going to have to start over. Sometimes when you try and edit a chart, it won't let you. So I'm going to pause here and I'll be right back. So one thing we can do is look at the recommended charts. So I highlighted this whole column and I left out the total because this is a sum of each one of these and it's going to skew our chart. So we just want to pull monthly total, and then if you go to recommended charts, it'll show you some samples. Now this is great. I think a line chart would be probably better for representing the data that we have, but you could choose a bar chart if you wanted. You can pick one of those, say okay, so here it is. And then there's one problem here is that we've got 1 through 12 on the bottom instead of our months. So now I can go to select data and I'm going to edit those 1 through 12, and I'm just going to click and drag over the months like this, say okay. And now you see we've got the months down here. If I were going to play a little more with this, I would go ahead and format it. Format the horizontal. No, I think let's format the vertical. I need to pop out this little guy over here, and we want the bottom, the minimum, to be, instead of 0, let's make the minimum 1500, because we don't ever make less than 1500, and the maximum can be 3000, and then that just gives us a little more, shows us a little more variety there. And I think if we made our minor unit 50 and our major unit 100, what would that look like? Ooh, that's a little confusing. Let's make our major unit 500. There. So just like that. And then this is our monthly, and maybe instead of monthly total, we're going to put income here. So this shows us something. It shows us how much we made each month. The other chart was pulling from this data up here, and it wasn't really showing us something that we needed or were able to interpret.